Apollo Beach, Florida is one of the best places to live near Tampa. Today I'm going to tell you why, plus a little extra. Hey everyone, my name is Amy Smith. I'm a realtor here in Tampa, Florida, and I moved here several years ago, and now it's kind of my specialty to help other people do the same. If you followed me at all or watched any of my videos, you know I love living in Tampa. I won't go into all those reasons right now. You can watch a video here or here about that. Now, I've just said that Apollo Beach is one of the best places to live near Tampa, and it's true, but I'm also going to tell you about the real cost of living that Apollo Beach dream, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. So there are a couple of reasons why I say Apollo Beach is a great place to live near Tampa, but the first of those is its location. Apollo Beach is about 20 miles south of Tampa, about 35 to 40 miles from St. Pete, and about 25 miles from Bradenton, which is good news if you need to get to a big city fast. Now, Apollo Beach has a population of around 20,000 people, and right there in the community there are local shops with, of course, there's a Publix, and local shops, a butcher, consignment shops. There's really anything you could need for everyday life right in Apollo Beach. But if for some reason you need something else, Riverview is super close, just a couple miles up the road. Another reason Apollo Beach is such a great place to live are its housing options. So let's take a look at some of those right now.
First, let's talk about condos in Apollo Beach. Many of these kinds of condos have full or part-time residents, and even restrictions on the duration of the lease period, which eliminates short-term vacation rentals. But there are also many that are good for tourists and short-term rentals too. There are mobile home communities like this one, Caribbean Isle, which is a 55 and over community. There are subdivisions like this one, Cobia Key, where many of the houses are on a canal. You can see that there are a variety of styles and sizes of homes that add to the beach town atmosphere of Apollo Beach. Of course, there are many beautiful homes right on the bay with million-dollar views and multi-million-dollar price tags. You can't talk about Apollo Beach housing without mentioning the biggest and most amenity-rich neighborhoods of Waterset and Mira Bay. These are very large housing developments with a variety of home sizes, styles, and prices, and resort-style amenities that are perfect for a Florida outdoor lifestyle and social atmosphere. Okay, here you can see the current listings in Apollo Beach. And as I said, it's not a huge community. Let's look at the range of homes first. Here's one of the newest listings, this waterfront home in a gated community for $768,000. Then this 900 square foot home is listed at $175,000. I wanted to show this mobile home too because it's on a canal. Then on the very next line, this home on the bay is listed at $1.8 million.
Okay, so you saw that many of those houses are right on the water, and that is my favorite thing about Apollo Beach. I mean, look, it's gorgeous. I hope you've had the opportunity to visit before. And there are great things to do, but look, everything is focused on the outdoors in Apollo Beach. I'm making sure to include some footage here of Apollo Beach Preserve because it was one of the things that was a bit of a surprise when we had first moved here and we drove down to Apollo Beach for the day. It was, let's say, a little smaller than I had anticipated.
Here's a quick shot of the Apollo Beach Preserve, a great spot to visit the beach. This was taken on a Saturday, so the parking lot was completely full. There you can see the observation deck. Here's a quick walk down to the beach. You can see that it's not super crowded, but this is it. Down to the right is more water access, but there are rocks and it's not this kind of sandy white beach. Here's the power plant, and across the bay is the Tampa skyline. You can't talk about Apollo Beach without talking about the Tico power plant. It's an eyesore, to say the least, but the Tico Manatee Viewing Center and nature trails are really nice.
But still, it's a great place to run down to for the day because there is kayaking, there are charter fishing boats, you can just rent a boat, there are places to see manatees, although I think that's closed right now for temporarily, and lots of nature viewing areas and places for boating. So again, if you live there, it's super great and easy to get on the water. Okay, lastly, I told you that I would tell you about the real cost of living in Apollo Beach, and unfortunately, just like really anywhere else, there are some trade-offs. And the trade-offs here come in the form of some hidden fees. Well, they're not hidden. Typically, in many of the communities in Apollo Beach, you will have either one or both of the following fees: HOAs or CDDs. Okay, what are those? Really quickly. Homeowners Association fees are just what you might think. They are fees imposed by the Homeowners Association. They are mandatory, and depending on the neighborhood and the amenities that it covers, those could range from $300 to over $1,000 or even more, depending on the amenities. Now, CDD fees, Community Development District fees, are similar in that they pay for the installment and the maintenance of amenities in the community. But because of their structure and because of the way they came about, they are collected as a tax. Now, HOAs and CDDs have pros and cons, and it's kind of a highly debated topic, but the point is, if you're going to move to Apollo Beach, this might be a way of life for you. The next cost that I wanted to make sure I mentioned is flood insurance. So flood insurance is exactly what you already know that it is. Because of its proximity to the water, flood insurance will be required. It's going to be an extra fee, and that is in addition to an already elevated homeowner's insurance premium because of the proximity to the water. Another cost that I have to mention for anybody who owns a home near the water is that because of the moisture in the air and lots of other environmental conditions, things like your roof and your AC unit and all sorts of other things about your house tend to wear out faster. So sometimes maintenance fees are higher for homes that are really close to the water. And lastly, the other hidden cost is not really a financial cost, but rather it's this. Homes in Apollo Beach are located in a hurricane evacuation zone, and that's exactly what you think it is. So when the government issues an evacuation order because a hurricane is coming our way, you've got to go. Whereas someone who lives in a home that's further inland, like me in Valrico, we are not in a hurricane evacuation zone and can usually ride out a hurricane in safety if your home is built for that. Well, I hope you can see that despite these costs that I just mentioned, living in Apollo Beach is a great option. I think it's one of the best places to live near Tampa. So please comment below if you agree, and oh, please like this video. No, like right now, go ahead, like it. It really, it like helps my self-esteem or something. And it's so easy for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you'll leave comments and ask questions if you have them. I'll see you next time.